everybody, it's Liam Landry here with...
Hello, everybody. You know me, okay, now you don't, but you know I am. I'm Misa J.
He's got to do that all the time, doesn't he?
Yes, I do.
Anyways, we're here to talk about Dominion. We both watched it independently of each other, so we're going to come here, talk about each match, and whether it's worth it or not.
Yes, and if you hear interesting noises, DJ is here behind the camera. Yeah, he is here. He didn't watch it for some reason. We don't know why.
Yeah, he chose not to watch it, and then...
His loss.
Yeah.
Okay.
I chose to make some money.
We did too. But
okay, I guess we just...
Yeah, let's get right into it now.
Right into it. We start off the night... Well, I guess we first start off by saying... it started off with a video package and a promo for the new...
The new president?
Yeah, the new president.
Yeah.
President and CEO of New Japan. And I mostly say that just so you know that first part and quite a bit afterwards. We both watched... Neither of us watched it live. So what happened was when they re-upload that, they didn't cut a lot of stuff out from there from the beginning. Because after he did that promo, they were waiting for it to start. And that makes sense, for live stuff, but they didn't cut down. Basically to say, you can really skip the first 30 minutes. I was trying to keep track of that, and I think it was at the 30-minute mark where it actually started, the event actually started.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Mm-hmm. I saw a lot of the waiting for it to start thing.
Yeah.
So I just instead of waiting for it, I actually went and pressed it a little bit too early. No, pressed it a little too late.
Yeah.
But it was still with the first match, so I did backtrack a little bit. I didn't take a note of the time, but I did backtrack a little bit.
Like I said, I was trying to keep track of the time. It's about the 30-minute mark. So if you go to 30 minutes, it should be right before it starts. It starts off with the video package going over every match on the card, and that's about that point right there.
Yeah, and I do have to say, he was way more professional than me when it came to that, because I wasn't even thinking of doing that.
Yeah, and it's not like it was bad or anything, but most of it's in Japanese anyways, so you're not going to really learn much about from it. Though it was still fine enough.
I think a lot of it was the promo, but I think a lot of the thing that was waiting was just the schedule of this. That's
what they
cool
do every time when they had to wait for the wait for the video to start, is the schedule from I don't know how many matches before and afterwards, but anyways, yeah. So you're gonna skip that to get to the 30-minute mark, and instead of having to wait through all that, but after you get there, starts off with a video package, like I was saying, going over every match of the card in order. And then you get into your first match, which is for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championship. Mm-hmm. And in there you have El Desperado and Kanemaru, who is the champions representing Suzuki-gun.
Yoshinobu
Kanemaru.
I'll say all of the Japanese names. So, yeah.
I just give it to you.
Oh, okay.
Because it's mostly Japanese names, of course.
Okay. In New Japan Pro Wrestling. And then they're competing against Roppongi 3K, which is Yo and Sho. And as a match to start it off with, I will have to say I was pleasantly pleased with how it went. I know I think Jack the Jobber from Cultaholic wasn't the biggest on this match.
Some people were disappointed because of what Roppongi 3K has done with the Young Bucks and everything there. But I think it's still, you should never go into the match and complain about what it could have been compared to what it actually was. You shouldn't really go in like that.
Unless it's AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Then it's okay.
I mean, it was a bad match either way.
Yeah.
Some bad series matches. Some were kind of okay, but for the most part it wasn't just the expectation. But
anyways, let's get back to this match.
No, it was still a very good match. Mm-hmm. I think Yoshinobu, he's kind of the weak element in that. El Desperado, Sho, and Yo are all very terrific. They all been terrific during the Best of the Super Juniors tournament. That was actually a setup for this because Yo and Sho both beat El Desperado and Yoshinobu in the tournament, and that's kind of was the idea of setting it up. Oh, and Rapani 3K is representing Chaos, so just so you understand the factions.
Yeah, and I enjoyed myself. It went by really quick. It was a nice little breezy match, and it was really cool how the refs do not act like refs of the WWE. Yes, it did end with a ref bump and him turning around, but he didn't lay on the floor for 30 years just to get ready for it.
Another thing I will say for Yoshinobu is that he does play a really good heel part in there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Nicely
When it
spitting
comes
out
to
whiskey.
when it comes to characters work, El Desperado and Yoshinobu definitely had a lot of good heel tactics going on, especially throughout the whole match.
Yeah, and we say that El Desperado and Yoshinobu ended up winning and retaining the championship.
After knocking one of the two guys from Roppongi 3K with a whiskey bottle.
Yeah, that was Yoshinobu. That's his kind of specialty, spitting whiskey, hitting people with it. So,
But yeah, overall, I guess I will have to say it was worth it because it wasn't a long match, and for what they gave you is a lot of fun action, especially with all the stuff that spilled onto the outside of the ring.
yeah, definitely a lot of people getting thrown into chairs. That's a Suzuki-gun way.
Suzuki-gun.
Yes.
So yeah, it was worth it.
Yeah, worth it.
Cool. Spoiler alert. David Finlay and Juice Robinson is the next match, facing off against Yoshihashi and Jay White. Jay White is the United States champion for the New Japan Pro Wrestling,
And they're also representing Chaos.
also representing Chaos. A lot of Chaos members was represented in the beginning of the show.
Yeah, and Suzuki-gun too. Because we
Yeah.
get some more on the next one.
This was a fun little match. Juice Robinson is very energetic and charismatic. David Finlay just as much. They were really, really fun. And Jay White has a lot of potential.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely strapped a rocket to him very early, giving them championship pretty quickly. And they also think that a lot too of Juice Robinson. You know, he's very over the crowd. A Japanese crowd normally is quieter as a sign of respect, but they normally get really into Juice's matches and cheer for him.
And he definitely tries to get the crowd to get rowdy.
Yeah, they were trying to do everything they could, both him and David Finlay, to get the crowd going, get everyone laughing, and entertain people.
Yeah, and this match had the most F-bombs dropped. At least two more times F-bombs were dropped, but this one more so than all the rest. The Juice Robinson is a vulgar man.
Yeah, well, that's something that they like for Westerners coming in. And speak out some vulgarity. And you already said that Juice got the pin.
I did not.
Okay, Juice ended up getting the pin on Jay White, and that's a big point because it's really setting up a feud between Jay White and Juice. It's probably going to be at the San Francisco show. They're probably going to have a match together.
Yeah, especially after what happened after the pin. You see Juice Robinson grab the United States title, go into turnbuckle and say, "Yeah, I'm winning this," and just drop it onto Jay White disrespectfully. That was
right
a
onto
cool.
his crotch.
Yeah, that was a cool little moment, and it was funny because he was like, "Wow, this thing's heavy." Drop. So a lot of good character work from Juice, a lot of good feud building elements for that match, and it should be a really fun, exciting match.
I think he was a tree hugger back in NXT.
Juice?
Yeah, that was scary.
Oh god. But overall, I'd have to say it was worth it. It was very funny, very entertaining. and very fast paced.
Yeah.
Faster than the last match too.
Mm-hmm.
And after a fast match, you need to ground it sometimes, and that's exactly what we got. And with this one, Minoru Suzuki and Jack Sabre Jr., which are both a tag team for the Never Open Weight Tag Team Champions, I believe. I think that's what I saw. They're tag team champions together, and they went up against Tomohiro Ishii and Toru Yano, just as an exhibition match, kind of, sort of. And Tomohiro Ishii and Minoru Suzuki just went ballistic.
Yeah, that was the real point of this match. Is much like the last one between Juice and Jay, was to set up a rivalry between those two.
Yeah, and they just went stiff hits against each other. Sometimes it was hard to watch. Still stiffer stuff coming in later, but these guys were just beating the holy heck out of each other. It was a good match.
And Suzuki and Zack Sabre Jr., of course, representing Suzuki-gun.
Mm-hmm.
And then, what was that? What did you say his name was?
Tomohiro Ishii.
And
Toru Yano.
And Yano, they were representing Chaos.
Yes, so much chaos. But this was a really good match, and if you've ever seen a Jack Sabre Jr. match, you know he likes to manipulate joints and ground his opponents and keep it at an entertaining ground pace. Not like what Randy Orton does, where he's just moving really slowly. Like, no, Zach moves really quickly. It's just he keeps everything grounded, which is a cool little shake of pace that you needed after the two matches before. And it ends with Toru Yano verbally submitting to Jack Sabre Jr. after just being in a submission I wouldn't even want to attempt to be in.
Yeah.
So what'd you think?
Yeah, I thought it was definitely worth it, especially all those big blows back and forth and all the dueling chair shots at the end where where Tomohiro and Suzuki basically face off in the middle of the ring with chairs, just trying to attack each other with it, while Young Lions try to separate them.
Yeah, it was a fun little match. I thought it was worth it as well. And it was definitely something.
The only thing I think they could have added was more Suzuki attacking the Young Lions. I didn't think they had enough of that.
Yeah, the Young Lions, even though they had to separate, they still got off scot-free this go around.
Yeah.
And then
such a shame.
And then we had the Never Openweight Championship being defended. Our champion Hirooki Goto versus Taichi and Michael Elgin,
Also known as Big Mike.
In a very, very interesting concept, because apparently it's not seen very much. It's a three-man match.
A triple threat match.
Yeah.
They don't do a lot of that in New Japan. It's mostly either singles matches or tag team matches.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a different style, and they really played up to that fact. So they didn't just play it as a normal matchup. They did go through more process to make it seem more unique.
Yeah, and it definitely didn't feel like a triple threat match that WWE gives you.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely had its own flavor, and because of that, it was very interesting to watch. Taichi definitely being the dastardly heel, and playing it very well. Michael Elgin being able to do sick maneuvers. He jumped over the top rope and did a flip and just landed perfectly in a sitting position, and it was just like, how the crud are you able to do that, you massive man? But in Hirooki Goto is bloody fantastic. I didn't even know who he was until today, and I'm glad I do now know him now.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of your favorite points of the match?
I'll just say one of my favorite points, not necessarily of the match, but of the character, is Taichi. I really enjoy him. I mean, basically his gimmick is that he's a singer, but he very clearly doesn't sing.
Yeah, he was just moving. I didn't even think I think one time he wasn't even moving his lips.
Yeah, it just seems like he just puts the mic up to his mouth.
and just
And it's
moves
just
rhythmically.
the crazy idea, and also the fact that he looks like a cross between Tuxedo Mask and the Goblin King from Labyrinth.
Yeah, and I feel like he might be able to incorporate Phantom of the Opera one day.
Yes.
He's just a fun little character.
And then just the idea of just halfway through the match, he just rips off his pants to show his way too small tights.
Yeah, and also, his adorable little partner. Oh, she was just the cutest little thing. Oh man. Match ends when Michael Elgin decides to go into a beast mode and just buckle bombs Tai Chi into Goto and just power slams Tai Chi.
Yeah, well, if I remember, actually, it was first buckle bombs Tai Chi, and then what was the other guy? Goto. He gets thrown into the corner, then goes buckle bombs Tai Chi again onto Goto, and then goes pick up Tai Chi one more time to hit him with the Elgin bomb, which is a spinning power bomb to get the 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, and overall, it was definitely worth it.
And I also thought it was a great point in there that it looked like Tai Chi was actually going to end up stealing it because he got his valet to distract the ref, came in there, attacked the other two guys with the mic, and then you think, oh, he's going to steal the victory. And then, like I said, Big Mike just went beast mode and just started power bombing it. Well, I was going to say power bomb everybody, but he's definitely specifically power bombed Tai Chi.
Yeah.
He did not.
This match was definitely worth it. It had a new flavor. It definitely, like every single match, definitely felt different than the next, which is very nice. And it just had a good flow. And even though it started off slow, it was deliberately slow to then lead up to what we got. I absolutely had a blast.
Yeah, good slow for storytelling purposes, rather than slow than to be slow.
Exactly. And talk about storytelling purposes. The IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Championship. Your champions, Sonata and Evil, versus the Young Bucks, which is Matt and Nick Jackson. The story behind Matt and Nick Jackson deciding, okay, we're done with the lightweight. What do they call it again? The lightweight.
Junior heavyweight.
The junior heavyweight. Leaving the junior heavyweight because I guess not much in the way of competition, and moving up to the heavyweight and having to bulk up and do all this stuff is really cool.
One thing back to the last match, I thought there was a really great line there from one of the announcers where they referenced how the Young Bucks bulked up, and he said Tai Chi, this was his first match as a heavyweight in the division, and he said all Tai Chi had to do was stop working out.
Oh, that's good stuff.
But to this match.
Back to the match. This was the storytelling in the match, the pace of the match, the brutality of the match was so great. I think this one was my favorite match. I really do love good tag team matches, and this is exactly what they delivered. My favorite parts was when I think it was Matt Jackson kicked the ring post, and his foot was basically broken, and he couldn't do all these big high spots that he normally does. And there was a point where he was going for the Meltzer driver with his brother. He springboards, but his foot gives way and he just crashes onto the canvas. Oh man. Some of your thoughts.
It was great storytelling ability from that, and a great obstacle for them to overcome. And I think Evil and Sonata ended up doing their part to play off of that. But it was a really great moment to get the Young Bucks over as really kind of the faces, because Evil and Sonata really played off more heelish tactics, and the Young Bucks really kind of.
They even stole the Meltzer driver at one point, and they actually hit it on Nick Jackson, I believe. I don't know the two apart, unfortunately.
I don't either.
I know one wears the bandana. If I can remember which one that is, I'll be able to tell them apart. But holy crud, this was the one part. They hit the Meltzer driver, and then they actually hit their double team finisher. Because after the Meltzer driver, I think Nick kicks out. And it was like, oh crud. Then they hit their double team maneuver. I don't remember what it was.
Magic Killer?
Magic Killer. And it was like, oh drat, they just hit Magic Killer. That's it. That's done. And out of nowhere, Matt Jackson just gets the save. And I'm just like, holy crud, what? Where'd he come from? The camera angle was perfect. You didn't even see him until he interfered in the count, and wow. All I can say is wow. And then out of nowhere, winning with the oh crud, you know it is called
More bang
for your buck.
Mm-hmm.
That was such a good move.
And kind of a nice nice callback, because that was their original finisher before stuff like the Melted Driver.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a going back to basics type idea.
Yeah, and then they definitely went with a babyface persona, without a doubt. And it was worth it, 100%. Loved it, and I'm so happy that the new tag team champions are the Young Bucks. After watching them with the Golden Lovers, already a fan. And to say that these guys do not know how to do good storytelling in ring is a joke and a lie, because these guys are bloody great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely worth it. They do show that they can do really good storytelling, and it shows that they're not just spot fest. They can always do that, but they can always do more well thought out matches like this.
They are very well rounded.
Yes.
And at the end of the video, we'll get to some big news, but good stuff. All right, then we had a change of pace, a big change of pace, with your Legends versus Bullet Club. We had Jushin Thunder Liger, Hiroshi Tanahashi, and making his debut for New Japan Pro Wrestling, Rey Mysterio Jr. It's so weird to say Jr. because in WWE they dropped Jr.
Yeah.
And then they were going against Cody, formerly known as Cody Rhodes, Marty Scurll, and Adam Hangman Page. Or I guess Hangman Page here. I don't know why his first name isn't there, but that's neither here nor there. And this one was probably my least favorite match on the card, only because of after what we got after. And not saying I didn't enjoy it, not saying it wasn't good. It wasn't my favorite. And Jushin is definitely slower than his prime because he is an older man, and Hiroshi Tanahashi is definitely also up there in age. He's the John Cena of New Japan Pro Wrestling, as I've been told.
Yeah, they're ace.
They're ace.
For a long time.
Rey Mysterio Jr. looks amazing though. Doesn't even look like he had any problems or any kind of injuries recently. And Cody, Marty, and Hangman are great heels. They were doing great heel work, but it was just a very slow match compared until Rey Mysterio gets in the ring. A very slow match compared to everything else we've gotten.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it was good, like you said in our podcast before. It was a good palate cleanser. So, and it made sense, especially with the next three matches that we got. But because of that, it definitely detracted from what it could have been.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, you also have to think of what each match does for the card overall. Mm-hmm. So I think for its purpose, for where it's at, it did its job. So I thought it was still good, still worth it.
Oh, still worth it.
I would still say check it out, but
yeah, still worth it. Still a really good match. Just only because of what it was and where it was supposed to be. Not my favorite. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, check that one out. And then we had one of the craziest matches. It was for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. The champion, Will Ospreay, versus the Best of the Super Juniors winner, Hiromu Takahashi.
And
take this one away.
Actually, I forgot to keep up with that. Young Bucks, Bullet Club, the Evil Sanada, LIJ, and into this Takahashi's LIJ and Will Ospreay's Chaos. Sorry, I dropped the ball there. But a really great match up there. These guys really go all out. And there was good points where they slowed it down. And they were actually going into more storytelling purposes of Ospreay kind of learning that he needs to slow someone like Takahashi down, not let him get into momentum. Mm-hmm. But only for just the right amount of time, so that it didn't drag on and Takahashi can go back in.
It was no Roman Reigns versus Samoa Joe. I can definitely say that.
No.
Even though they slowed it down, they picked it back up and it got interesting, and then they slowed it down and it was a good balancing act.
Yeah, it was a
very good balancing act.
You know, it's a roller coaster ride. You know, you can't just go down the whole time from big drops. You have to have build ups to those build up to the next drops.
And you just can't have a lot of speed because you'll fly off the bloody rails.
Yeah.
You have to have a great balance, and that's exactly what my favorite. Okay, so I do want to say this, you guys. I watched the half of this match with my dad. It was after one of the most sweetest maneuvers I have ever seen in a match. Takahashi kicks Will Ospreay in the face. He goes off the ropes. Will Ospreay just does a backflip off of Takahashi's chest, which was intense. Then Takahashi's going to kick him, dodge. He grabs him in the leg, but that doesn't happen. He goes behind him, grabs him, reversal. Will Ospreay is grabbing Takahashi, then he breaks free after elbow to the head. Then, out of nowhere, Will Ospreay is going for a kick, but out of nowhere, Takahashi is able to dodge it, which got the crowd going mental. They were like, what? The amount of precision they have to be able to do and timing was just impressive, which it ends up leading to a very sick looking German suplex. And my dad, who isn't the biggest for in-ring work, was impressed with what he saw, and he watched the whole thing and he was enjoying all of it. Very hard hitting, very scary, neck breaking almost looking spots, but
yeah, I would say that.
Holy crap!
I'd say Takahashi and Ospreay both have a similar backstory, where their parents were both killed by their necks, so they have a vendetta to kill their own necks. And that's the whole setup for this match. At least headcanon wise, that's like they're just doing anything they can to destroy their own necks so that they don't kill anyone else they love.
And in that one spot off of the ramp where he just runs and does a huge flip and almost kills himself there too, but rolls out of it. Like, dang it, this match was so good.
Yeah.
This match would have been my favorite. It's just I love great tag team matches, and that's exactly what I got with the Young Bucks. So I'm a little bit biased, but this match was great. Yes, it was worth it, you guys. Dang it.
It's definitely worth it. Definitely worth it.
And that leads into our IWGP Intercontinental Championship. Tetsuya Naito, the champion, versus Chris Jericho.
And Naito representing LIJ.
Yes, and the match starts with a bang. It starts before the match even starts. Naito gets jumped by Chris Jericho, and it just gets crazy.
Can I say that this was like Roman Reigns versus Samoa Joe if they did that match right?
Yes, you can.
Yes.
This is exactly what it was like.
Yeah.
Yeah, holy crap.
Yeah, it was early heel jumping in the face before he could get ready, attacking him, putting him through a table.
Yeah, and instead of just nothing but holds, it was actually wrestling and moves and trying to put his opponent away, which was good, and it just kept building and building. Naito actually did get a lot of good offense in. It wasn't like Roman Reigns where he just took all the punishment and then, haha, spear, I win. No, Naito got a lot of offense in. Unfortunately, he did not win.
Got the power drive Chris Jericho through another table.
Not
necessarily through the table, but
no, not through the table, but
right
onto it.
Yes.
And then the way Chris Jericho fell off the table, it looked like he just did not look good. Did not look good. I would definitely not call that spot too sweet. It looked brutal. Yeah, but I guess I could say it ended with Chris Jericho picking up the win after pushing the ref. I think it was two Red Shoes.
Yeah.
Pushing Red Shoes, low blowing Naito, and then at a huge and sold perfectly by Naito. Codebreaker, 1, 2, 3, your new champion.
Because it's sold perfectly because you got the idea of hitting the code breaker and his legs actually getting taken out from underneath him, you know?
Yeah.
Most people are just still standing while taking the code breaker, so I think it's far more brutal.
Oh yeah, it definitely gives you a very good sense of how brutal that move can be. And yes, it was worth it.
Yeah, definitely worth it. It was a good change of pace because it was a different style of matchups from than what we've seen before. And they do a good job with getting that different types of styles, tag teams, and then this one that was more brutal and almost kind of not necessarily hardcore, but kind of in that same idea of a brutal beatdown. And they even reference a street fight. You know, the announcers was kind of saying,
Winnipeg Street Fight.
yeah, like Winnipeg street fight.
And I think we forgot to mention Takahashi is your new Intercontinental Champion. He did win his match.
New junior heavyweight champion.
New junior heavyweight. That's what I meant.
Yes.
The new Intercontinental Champion is Chris Jericho. The new junior heavyweight champion is Takahashi. He beat Will Ospreay.
Yeah,
so I forgot about to say that, but
yeah,
that's
so
all
he's the
good.
champion and the best of the Super Juniors.
So the only defended championships are the junior heavyweight tag team champions. El Desperado and his partner Yoshinobu are the only ones to retain as of right now. We have as of right now 4 out of the 6 matches changed hands. So that was very, very interesting, to say the least. And then what did you have to say on that?
Well, I was going to say, and it kind of goes into the last one, but there is an idea of taking New Japan into a global direction. And they say maybe a lot of these changes may be for that, because you go with the Young Bucks and Chris Jericho, which are from North America. It can definitely get more eyes from over there onto New Japan product.
Yeah, and I think that's a good marketing decision.
Yeah.
I really do. And then our main event.
Also, I would say this with the Naito, it definitely seems like they're setting up a long-term storyline with Naito. Like this defeat is going to have him basically rebuild himself, and they've done that before. They've done with like Omega that he has to rebuild himself. That's kind of a storyline that they went through. They did it with Okada. They did an Okada Reborn storyline. So it seems like they're kind of doing that again, like another reborn.
It definitely gives a good way to build a good babyface and build great stuff, really. Because it's definitely worked with Okada and Omega.
Yeah.
And speaking of Okada and Omega, it's Kazuchika Okada, the champion, the IWGP Heavyweight Champion, versus Kenny Omega. And this was a 2 out of 3 falls match.
With no time limit.
With no time limit. And
So you know it was going over an hour.
And it did.
I think they ended up being 66 minutes. Like 66 minutes, 11 seconds or something like that.
And my word, what a match.
Yeah. I always love 2 out of 3 falls match. It's actually my favorite stipulation. And I know it seems like such a simple stipulation, but I always feel they're just great matches. And this one was definitely one part of it. I mean, we didn't get our first fall until like the 30-minute mark.
Yeah, close to the 30-minute mark. And that fall was to Okada. And he wins with a counter, not a roll-up per se, but a counter to a move. And
That was basically a roll-up.
Basically a roll-up, yeah. And 1, 2, 3, he goes up 1. And a really cool bit after
each pin, they get a 2-minute break.
Yeah, that's something WWE I don't think incorporates.
No.
So that's a really cool storytelling device there. And the amount of pile drivers that were being attempted, and the amount of just everything, it was just so intense. And then V-Trigger, after another good 20 minutes or so, and One Winged Angel, it's tied.
Omega ends up getting the pin.
Omega gets the pin.
Tying up the score.
And everyone that I've seen with reactions instantly thought, oh, that's it. Okada's got it. He already used his move. It's over. And I thought, wow, I think I was wrong. I thought I read a spoiler, but I guess I didn't. I guess this isn't going to happen. Even I bought into it, and I read a spoiler. Dang it. I know we got to see a Styles Clash. That was cool. That was awesome.
They even had an AJ Styles chant going on.
Yes, nice. And it was, oh man.
That was busted out by Omega.
And one of the coolest One-Winged Angels was when he just hits it out of desperation mode, not the way he normally hits it later on in the match, but it doesn't really matter because Okada lands into the ropes and he's laying on the ropes, so it wouldn't have mattered if he was able to pin him, but he wasn't. And there were times where the Rainmaker was hit and Okada just fell. He just fell to the ground and couldn't.
I think that's a great storytelling purpose when looking at their matches as a whole, because they had the whole point that Omega was going to go long term. He was going to wear down Okada, and also carries back to one of their previous matches, maybe the second one.
Is that the second or third? Yeah.
Yeah, where
the Iron Man match.
Yeah, where they went for Okada went for the Rainmaker, and then Kenny Omega just collapsed from it. So it's kind of a great callback to that Okada is the one collapsing now. So it's great long-term storytelling. And
we have a new heavyweight champion. It is Kenny Omega winning with a bunch of V-triggers and the One-Wing Angel.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, it was worth it. Come on. You know, hear how happy we are. Final thoughts on the show overall?
Well, one more about that.
Okay, one more.
I would say it also shows that you don't really have to do a bunch of complicated spots, because that wasn't what this match was about. It had some nice spots, nice sequences in there, but it doesn't even really have many moves. Most of the moves ended up being Rainmakers, Tombstone Pile Drivers, V-Triggers, and One-Winged Angels, but still had great storytelling and great work in there, great selling. So it shows, once again, another type of match.
Yeah.
And even looking at just those last three, you had three very different types of matches that showed three different types of styles and doing them perfectly. And
all three singles matches too. And WWE has a bad habit of doing singles matches and they all feel the same, and it's all just like, ugh, especially with Backlash. Each singles match just felt different and fresh each time, and it was great.
And you know what that match also reminds me of, this last one? Thinking compared to WWE?
Which one?
It reminds me of a good Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. Because both times they went with the idea of two really great guys clashing against each other, hitting each other with their best moves, and not being able to put them down.
I can definitely
but
see
it's
that.
done, even the idea of Omega losing, getting a win where the title wasn't on the line, it even kind of plays out in that same regard, and it's just done so much better. And that's just kind of put in comparison to people who know WWE, so they can get an idea of that build. But it's done so much more better. Everyone was behind Omega.
Last thing I do want to say, towards the end of the match, they had so many palm strikes and chops, and I felt each and every one of them. I was wincing. I was like, oh my gosh, that hurts. Throughout that entire time, it was very hard hitting, and it was 100% wonderful. It was so much fun. I loved it. I'm so thankful I got to be able to watch it, and overall, from start to finish, it was worth it.
Yes,
there was absolutely nothing. And like I said, even though I wasn't the biggest fan of the Legends versus Bullet Club, even that match was amazing. So nothing on this show was bad. Nothing on this show made you feel dragged out. It was worth it. If you have the opportunity, go watch it.
Yeah, to just agree with you. It was definitely worth it. It was well thought out, well planned, well executed, and everything in there. I would say everyone who won was the right person to win.
Exactly. And I do want to... The only thing I didn't agree with was Cody Rhodes getting the pin. I feel like Marty Scurll should have been able to get a dastardly win by pulling the tights of Jushin or something like that. But that's just an old nitpick.
Yeah.
That's literally all that was. But yeah, that's. I know this is a very long episode. It was a 4.5 hour show, but I do want to say one thing. Find someone who has New Japan Pro Wrestling account and go watch it.
Or just get your own account.
Or get your own account. If you don't have the money, go find someone. But if you have the money, go support them. Get the account.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little cheaper than WWE's.
Yeah,
so.
And it was a great show. This is what a takeover event would be if takeover events were 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So go check it out. 100%. It was worth it.
Yeah, definitely worth it.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up with those sexy likes.
And the unsexy ones.
Don't forget to share the video to all of your friends.
And enemies.
And if you really like what we do, please subscribe to the channel and become a part of the Smarky family. And then hit the notification bell to notify you when our videos go up and when we go live. We go live for most pay-per-views and most weeks we have our podcast. Shooting with the Smarky family, it's a lot of fun. So definitely check that out and hit the notification bell to be notified when it's live. Where can they find you, Liam?
Find me on Twitter at Liam_SWA.
And find me on Twitter at IsaJ_STP. Yeah, this was a lot of fun. This was great. And I guess that's all, right?
Yeah.
You want to sign us out, or do you want me to sign us out?
You had the better sign out, so I'll let you do it.
Okay, then. Thank you guys again so much for watching, and until next time, it will be awesome.